everyone. Hello. My name is Tiffany Almeida. I'm with Pretty and Paper Crafts, and I go live every Sunday for Facebook Live, and I call it Coffee and a Card. Hopefully, you all have your beverage of choice with you, and we are going to have a super fun day of crafting together. And we'll talk about giveaways. Every week I do a giveaway, 2 giveaways actually. The first way to win is to share my video, and I always have product to give away. Last week I said if you hit the share button, you would be entered to win the puff paint, the new puff paint. So I'm going to be drawing a winner for that here shortly. And so then the other way to enter to win is to go onto my blog post. The link to the blog is in my description of this video. And you will just scroll down to the bottom of the blog post, and there's a Rafflecopter link. You click on that, you answer 2 questions, and you're entered to win my make and takes from my Facebook Live. So last week, my make and takes were with the Ride With Me bundle, and I made those cute little trucks. And so congratulations, Tony Chapman. You won the Rafflecopter giveaway last week. So yay! So Tony, I'll be reaching out to you to get your address. If you want to message me, that's even easier and better and faster. Just message me your address and I will mail you those make and takes. Okay, so giveaway last week was the puff paint. I have that here. So here's my puff paint. I have everybody's name in this cup that hit the share button last week. So thank you to all of those. You guys are awesome. And we will pick a winner right now of who's going to get this awesome fun paint. Barbara Meehan. Barbara, congratulations. Thank you for hitting that share button. Message me and I will get this mailed to you, okay? Congratulations, Barbara. I'm going to stick this in the baggie so I don't lose it and I don't forget. Okay, so this week I have another giveaway, so make sure you hit that share button. Share it over to your Facebook page. Share it to a popular group that you hang out with, whatever you want to do. Hit that share button, I'll put you in to win. This week, I'm giving away a spool of that brand new ribbon pack Come Together. It's so pretty. It's got this pretty like Sahara sand kind of silk ribbon, and then this Cajun Craze Baker's Twine. Super, super cute. Perfect for fall. So I'm going to be giving this away to someone who hits that share button this week. So congratulations to all the winners and thank you guys so much. All right, the second thing we've got is, as always, our coffins. I always have a free reward for placing orders with me. So September's reward, the code is here. Place a $50 order and you get the coffins for free from me, a whole package of 12 coffins. So that's always exciting and fun. I love the coffins, and you'll have a whole pack of them ready to go for Halloween treats, which is awesome. And then if you place a $30 order using this code this week, you're going to get all 3 of my make and takes. And then if you up it to $50 for another $20 order, you'll get the free coffins. On my Rafflecopter last week, I had you guys vote for the bundle that you'd like to see me use this week. And there was an overwhelming vote for the still scenes. So I am obliging you guys. I love the still scenes. It was such a fun opportunity to play with them. I'm going to show you the 3 projects that I made this week using them. We've got this beautiful, you guys kind of saw a sneak peek of this, the polar bear shaker card. It's just kind of a still scene. I think it's kind of defines it. This beautiful designer series papers that feels like frost, and I just put that back behind there so it looked like it was see-through through the globe, which is super, super fun. And I love these little polar bears, you guys. Those are in the framelit die. So I'm going to show you those here in a second, but this is one of my most favorite cards for sure. And then, of course, I have to show you guys what it looks like if you turn it into a Halloween card. So it's Halloween time, and you can take this cute little cottage, and depending on how you color it, you can have a nice little haunted house, right? So I made a little haunted house spooky globe. When I was brainstorming with Janie over this set, she's like, oh my gosh, you know, this could be a witch's cauldron. This could be a gypsy's, seeing crystal, the crystal that they look through. This could be, you turn it over, it could be a fishbowl. This could be a stand for your coffee cup, all kinds of really, really fun ideas. So this set has a lot of opportunity to be creative. So I just wanted to show you guys, you could do something a little bit different like that. And then last but not least, I had to do a pretty little ornament, and I was inspired by the holiday catalog. The holiday catalog has an ornament in it. Right here on the front cover, there's a little shaker card using that, or little shaker ornament using that snow globe dome. I don't have the wreath bundle, which would have been really, really cute, but I made it work with what I did have. So I'm going to show you guys how I made that. So those are the projects today, you guys. I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and start out with the stamping one, and then we'll get into a little bit more complex projects here real quick. So here's what we need for our spooky still scenes here, our little haunted house globe. So here's what we need for our cards. Basically, you'll need a piece of basic black cardstock, okay? And you need a piece of crushed curry. This crushed curry is cut out using the stitched rectangle framelit dies. And these are absolutely one of my favorite dies, the stitched rectangle. So we have that. I also have a piece, I cut a piece of the Monster Bash Designer Series paper. So this is the haunted house, right? So it kind of like sets the theme, and that way there's like no real guessing on it. Very cool, right? So this is that Monster Bash Designer Series paper. I cut this at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Now you don't have to remember any of the measurements that I tell you today because they're all over on my blog post in the project sheet. So make sure that you go over there and print out the project sheet. It has everything I used and all the measurements in it. All right, so what we need is a piece of Whisper White because we're gonna be doing some stamping. We also need a piece of crushed curry. All right, so I have this scrap piece of crushed curry. This is going to be actually the base of our snow globe, okay? So we'll set these aside here for a second. Now, we're gonna have to do some stamping. I have the Still Scenes stamp set. Now, I absolutely love this set. It's really, really cool. I'm gonna put the dome, the little snow globe dome here on my block, and I've got a little sparkle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of stamping with ink, I'm going to do Versamark and heat emboss it with the basic black Stampin' Emboss powder, because I kind of wanted it to look shiny like a globe should, rather than flat like ink. So we're going to do the Stampin' Emboss powder. I also have the stand. We're going to do that on crushed curry, and we're going to do the black embossed powder as well. I have these like glitter sparkles. That's what happens when you make shaker cards. You get leftover sparkles. Okay. And the last thing we're going to do is I'm using for the spooky, the word spooky here, I'm actually using the Spooktacular Bash Halloween set that's new in our holiday catalog, and these awesome new frames. These ornate frame dies are so awesome. I can't stop using them. So we're going to emboss that in the black powder, and then we're going to cut it out with a framelit. So I have my spooky here on a block. All right. So when we do the I keep saying dry, but when we do the heat embossing, we need our embossing buddy. It's this bag that's kind of full of this powder. And it takes away all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Oils and things like that the embossed powder will stick to. We don't want it to stick to anything other than the Versamark ink that we're going to stamp. So just running over the embossing buddy over your paper just does a number to kind of help with that. All right, so then we're going to take our Versamark ink. This Versamark ink is see-through, it's clear, but it's sticky, and the embossed powder is going to stick to it. So we're just going to ink up our globe. And when you have big stamps like this, you can always take your ink pad and go over the top of it like this. You ink it up however and whatever is the easiest way for you. Just want to make sure I don't have anything on this kind of centerpiece here because it shouldn't stamp that part. So we're just going to stamp that down here. And I just kind of wiggle. I push and I wiggle just to make sure everything's kind of stamped, okay? So we've got that, and then we need our spooky. So we'll stamp spooky off to the side here. Okay, so you can't really see it. Maybe you can see a little bit of the shine. And then we've got to do our dome, our stand, our snow globe stand. This is a really pretty snow globe stand. It's very intricate. And then we're just going to stamp that on our crushed curry. Okay. All right. So there we've got that stamped. All right, so we've got our Stampin' Black emboss powder, and we're just going to stamp right on top of that, or we're gonna sprinkle it right on top of our Versamark. You can see that the powder stuck to the Versamark ink, and I'm just kind of wiping off any excess. Not that it really matters because we're gonna cut it out, so anything on the outside isn't gonna really matter to us at this point. So we'll just pour this over. You notice how I kind of pour it into a tray to kind of catch the extra. Whew. And I usually make a mess, so don't be surprised. If it's your first time watching me, you're like, wow, she's really messy. Yeah, no, that's normal. Huh, guys, it's super normal for me. All right, so this is what I was talking about, the inside of that stamp image, which is not what we want. So I'm just gonna brush it off, and it is leaving behind a little bit of residue. That's okay though, because when I stamp in color, it's probably gonna hide that. So I'm not too worked up about it, but all right, so we've got that. Let's brush off all this embossing powder I made a mess with. Okay, so let's go ahead and just tap all this embossing powder back into the little container. See that? That's why I keep a container. Okay, so now that we have our two pieces covered in embossed powder, we take our heat tool and we're gonna heat set it, and you just keep it about at least a few inches away, and just don't set it in one spot. It will burn your paper, and you'll know it's set when it turns shiny, okay? So I'm gonna turn it on here and we're gonna watch till it gets shiny. Okay, I just have to say something. I absolutely love embossing. It's like so magical and fun to do because you've taken powder and you've now turned it into this shiny image. So I love embossed powder. It's so much fun. Okay, so now that we've gotten these pieces, we do need to run them through the Big Shot and cut them out. So again, with the dies, what I really like about this set is that it cuts out the dome or the snow globe. It cuts this out perfectly. And then also there's two pieces for the base, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like when we cut out this more intricate piece. This is not the piece you want to cut out when you've stamped it like this. Instead, you want to use just the outline, and you'll just cut out the outline, okay? And then like I said about the spooky, we're going to use those ornate frames, and we're just going to cut that out. All right, so let me grab the Big Shot, our Big Shot embossing, our die cut machine, or whatever we call it. So we'll just put this here, and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put our little frame. We'll see if we can cut it all out together. I use my magnetic platform for this Big Shot because I like the dies to kind of stick and hold still. Sometimes it works in my favor, sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes the magnets want to pull the metal. See, like how my die is wanting to pull. So you kind of have to play with it. I move the paper so that the magnet's the boss, because the magnet's gonna win. Regardless of what I do, the magnet's always gonna win. Sometimes washi tape helps, sometimes it doesn't. So, all right, so it looks like we've got all of those in there. Now we're gonna just run it through and pray nothing moves. Okay, and I already did the what am I trying to say? The stitched rectangle, so we are good. All right, now that I've done that and I've cut this out, I'm gonna stamp my house. So I have the house. We're gonna do that in the black embossed powder as well. So I've got that cottage or house or whatever, and I'm gonna do my embossing buddy again. Just pass that over. Don't want anything extra to be picked up. Use our Versamark ink again. This is gonna make it easier to color too. If you have that outline in the embossed powder and then you use the blends, it's actually easier to color. So I'm stamping my little haunted house there. You can't really tell yet, but we're gonna pour that black emboss powder over it and it's gonna look awesome. You have to say that when you have to sing when you say that, by the way. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so see that? Okay, we're gonna heat set that. You can see the heat warped my placemat here. Can you guys see how kind of wrinkly it is? So the heat tool gets really, really hot. You need to be careful, especially like a small piece like this. You're gonna wanna have something, a tool or something to hold it down. I'm just gonna use my pick a tool. So doesn't that look really cool? Because it's gonna have like this shine and it's gonna look like a snow globe. So that's the exciting part. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do the fun thing of coloring. All you need is pretty much light basic black blends. So I'm gonna do the inside of this tree. And even though it's a snowy tree, when you color it in all black, you can't tell. So we're just gonna fill this in. I love it. I love coloring in this embossed background because my blends don't bleed. They stay where they need to stay. I'm even going to color in some of the tree trunks so they look black. The more black, the better. Because remember, we want it to be scary and dark. Even the ground, I'm going to color black because it's dark, it's nighttime. We want it to be dark and scary. A little cozy cottage out in the woods doesn't look scary, right? So we'll just color that in, and then I'm going to do the roof in basic black, and then probably the house in a gray, and like a dark smoky slate. And I'm going to do the door in black. Okay, then let's take some yellow. I have Dark Mango Melody. I'm going to try and color in the windows. Can't really tell. And then we get our dark smoky slate. Let's color the house in gray. This looks so spooky. It looks even more spooky embossed. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just does. Very, very spooky. Okay. Now we're going to take our sponge and we are going to grunge up this, all this white. We don't want it to be so stark white. So I'm going to get a sponge that has black ink on it. I'm just going to get some more, put it on my sponge here. And I'm just going to grunge it up because it's spooky and dirty and scary and dark. Okay. Oh, I forgot the moon too. I got to put the moon in there. All right, so we've grunged that up. Now, the other thing I want you to do is grunge up your stand. So you can see here the stand is very dark, but I left the center light, and that makes it give dimension like it's curved, right? So if it's curved, that means the two sides maybe don't have as much light hitting it, but maybe the center does. So when you just do some shading, it's like a magic trick. So you can see it looks like, oh, it's shinier there. That's curved. So it's just a kind of illusion of the eye. Cool, huh? And then I'm going to sponge up my spooky because that can't be clean and white if everything else is dark and grungy. Okay. I love sponges. They do the trick all the time. Sometimes all you need is just a little bit of shading. Oh, and while I have my sponge handy, I'm going to shade my crushed curry rectangle. Just grunge that up. Need a little bit more ink. There we go. Get it nice and dark. Halloween is grungy, right? Scary and dark around the edges. Okay, so now we've got our pieces. Let's go ahead and assemble our project. It's super easy from here on out. We're going to glue our piece of designer series paper I cannot get enough of this designer series paper. You guys want to see it? You want to see it whole? I love it. I actually have it right here. It's never too far away from me. But I love the spider webs, the little maze. This reminds me of the game Clue, right? So funny. And there's really cool, these bottles are super, super cool. And some of them have things like stock of card, scrap of book. There's another one too somewhere. So cute. There's one ink. But really, really cool. That one's fun. And then the background is this beautiful design. So that's cool. And then look at all the frames of the people. I've been using a lot of those. You can see I've been cutting them out. And then look at like the old newspaper. Here's like an old spell book. Oh, here's some books. Look at the books. Very cool, right? So this is super fun. I absolutely love this paper. I keep using it. I have a class coming up that we're going to be doing the countdown to Christmas, the advent calendar, but I turned the backside into a Halloween countdown. And so you'll want to check that out because all you got to do is order the countdown calendar from me, and then I'll send you all the pieces to make the Halloween side. Okay, so I put glue on the back of this by mistake before I tied the ribbon. So I'm just going to put the ribbon behind it, and I'm going to glue. I've already got glue on it, so I'm just going to glue it down, and then I'll tie the knot. That'll actually help things out because it will just kind of hold things down for me. And we'll just tie a knot over here. My knots are never pretty, and it's always hit or miss, so it is what it is. So there we go. There's our knot. Okay, and then we'll just trim off the edges because we don't need all of that. And I feel like my camera's kind of tilting, so I'm gonna move it up a little bit. All right, so we've got that. We'll just trim down the edges. We don't need it very long. Okay. Now for this part, let's go ahead and we'll glue on. We're gonna just put a little bit of glue down here and glue on our frame. Oh, I love this ribbon, Diane. It's so much fun to use. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little strand of glue there, and then we're gonna glue our base to it. Oh, I picked it up too early. I just wanted to show you guys it looks so cool. Just as low as we can go. Oh, it's so spooky. Okay, and then we're gonna put our little frame, our little spooky frame here. No, they're not. Haha, Janie. That's cute. Okay, so spooky. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to glue it down. I'm just going to use I like to use my edges. So we've got there, and let's do some in the middle. There and there. Oh, the moon. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Forget my own head if it wasn't attached. Cannot forget the moon. All right, I'm going to take that dark mango melody again, and I'm going to put a moon right here between the trees. Ooh, spooky. Very spooky. I'm going to try, I got a lot of dark in there, so I'm going to try and bring in some light. Spooky. Very nice. Okay, so there's our moon. This moon came out really dark, and I think it's because of the embossed powder. This one's light because I used the Memento ink. Now, the other thing that you can do, I don't know if you can see the shine that I have here, but I used the Crystal Effects, the new Shimmery Crystal Effects, and I just ran it over these shiny parts here so that it gave a look of like reflection. But you have to let it dry. You have to set it aside and let it dry. But kind of a cool effect. So there's the first globe project. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Is it spooky enough? Super cool, right? I love Halloween. Make sure if you want these make and takes, you have 2 ways to do it. You can place a $30 order on my online store and I will ship these to you. I have a code here. If you up that $30 order to a $50 order, you'll get my coffin as a free gift as well. Or you can go to my raffle copter on my blog post. The link is in the description of this video, and you can answer the 2 questions and be entered to win these projects for me to mail them to you. Okay, so thank you guys so much. Have a fabulous week, and I can't wait to craft with you guys again next week. See you later.